Okay, we're just gonna start this. We're not even going to look at our time. We're just going to start and
Yeah.
do all this. We ain't taking time, people.
Yeah.
We finished the game, so I guess while we do these, do we have any final thoughts? Any interesting things we could think of that go along with it? I mean, the final case was a whole mystery from beginning to end,
You know it.
but it also led to like you going back and forth between places for different reasons.
Yep, I love it.
But it all led up to the final point. I really thought Scout was going to turn bad, but I kind of knew he probably wouldn't because
Yeah.
of Jenna. I felt like those words were going to stick, and it did. We brought up everybody that had been bad, you know, and then it still ends with us able to survive because we ain't dead. That's the
Yeah.
main thing. And yeah, we get to be a detective, so you know that makes it all the better.
Yep.
And I also think that they do have a sequel hooked because that sounds like, you know, something. Okay, what am
It
I?
sure does.
Oh, I went the wrong way.
Yep.
Stapler.
The red stapler.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And with Kingdom Hearts sequel hooked, the challenge is half done. What, you thought that was gonna be the end of it? Freaking Game Champ. She always makes such good videos.
Nice. Yeah, I
And
like this
even-
as well.
Yeah, Game Champ is a queen.
Absolutely.
And she even pokes fun at the people making, you know, trying to say anything in the comments, you know, like, oh, well, at least we know somebody's having a little bit of a fit. It points out all the transphobes.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't.
At
At first, I wouldn't have known until I was watching, was it the Splatoon one with Octo Expansion? Or was it...
that one? Yeah.
Or was it... No, it had to be Octo Expansion, I think, because... You know, that's about when I noticed the she, her pronouns part at one point.
Yeah.
I also think Metroid might have been where I first saw it, but it was one of them. Because I've been watching for a while, but as soon as I noticed, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, well, of course I will use those pronouns if you want. If that's the pronouns you want, I will use those pronouns for you.
Exactly.
It's like, I am going to be a good person because the views are fun, and
Yeah.
I will watch those. Heck, sometimes I find myself just on my lunch break, having 30 minutes, having nothing really to watch, and I just end up back on the videos.
Yeah.
So here's my thought. I forgot, we're probably going to do a Coliseum playthrough at some point because, you know, we'll have to do that if we want to get, you know, many of the Pokemon in Emerald to, you know, be there.
Yeah.
And we'll have to complete it for sure. Same with XD. Because you can't just leave a game without being done. Good thing is, though, that we can...
Yeah.
I can just use I can go into PK Hex and put them all in, so...
Yep.
One of my things is we're going to have to really make sure we have some type of walkthrough because I can't remember the plot. Whole, like, oh, you do this and go here because you have to do that type of stuff. It takes forever.
Yep.
But I mean, that's kind of how the games were back then. You didn't really just have, if you had the guide, sure, but for a while,
Yep.
you won't, you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Too bad I don't have an actual Wii that I could hook up and then play Battle Revolution on, because that would have been
That'd
great.
be nice. Yeah, it would have been fun.
I mean, it's only going through the main story anymore, but which there isn't really much of a story, but you know,
yeah.
they really should bring out like another Coliseum-esque type of story. Not
Yeah.
based, not like a remake or, you know, a retelling of the story, but just like, you know, a new game that, you know, has shadow Pokemon in it.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see again.
Yeah, like, you know, make a team appear that has suddenly found old notes. Make it like, hey, the old notes of that teams that have done it, you know, like Team Snag'em and Cypher, make them suddenly
Yeah.
have notes that are found.
Yeah.
Because it's never
that'd
said
work.
that the notes for those guys were found. It's just, I mean, it could probably be implied, but
Mhm.
all that happened was the, you know, most of them disappeared. Mirror B's in the sequel.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Then again, I'm guessing most of the, I'm guessing the police force in Ore isn't as good as in other regions.
I guess not.
I mean, come on. At the end, sure, we had cops arrive to arrest the people, but it's like most of those people were the only
Mhm.
were the Sephiroth ripoff, and then the old mayor who was tricking us from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure even before that, you'd probably be like, this mayor seems a little bit sus.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because, like, he's talking to the guy, and for a while you don't even, and you never talk to the mayor after after that first encounter.
Oh, yeah, true.
He's just kind of like there, and, you know, you talk to him because Rui says it would be a good idea to, and then after that, you're in plot, so you don't really think, you know, what, you know, when do I talk to him again, you know, type thing.
Hmm.
I mean, it's not supposed to be hard thought-wise on who the villain was,
No.
but good lord, is the final battle with them so hard.
Yeah.
Because I would hate being the one to lose. I had to use a cheat code on my main playthrough because it was like I was not going to continue losing and having to go train and train and train because Mount Battles floor 1 and 2 are jokes. 3 can get you some good experience, but it's like I just wanted to finish the game and get to, you know, I just wanted to trade over Arena, which I
Yeah.
did, but I also just made Behemoth.
Yeah.
Because, like, why not? Make Behemoth. I hate how I'm having to, like, search for a topic just to get into the talk. Because I'm like, what topic next?
Oh, yeah. Also, searching would be find something also related to villagers and skateboards.
Oh?
There's only one villager that's a skateboard related item in their normal heist.
Really?
Yeah. Definitely Trilogy.
I know it's not Dom, I'm pretty sure.
Nope, not Dom.
Who would it be then? Huh. You actually got me. I'm not sure who it is.
Sasha.
It's who?
Sasha.
Sasha, really? I didn't
Yeah,
know they
they-
had
yeah.
one in their house.
They have the skateboard wall rock.
Huh, interesting. Sasha,
Yeah.
probably a skateboarder at heart. A
Yeah.
little non-binary bun bun.
Yeah. Posted the screenshots in the DM.
Alright, I'll look at those when, you know, we finish this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a nap. Dragon City. I'm still kind of peeved that I got my videos of reading the manga, of reading Beyblade X manga taken down.
Yeah, that is annoying.
But when I looked and saw that, hey, it's the group that releases the manga normally down in
Yeah.
Japan, I was like, you know what? I'm just not going to mess with it.
Yeah, can't really be arguing with them.
Yeah, it's kind of like, you know what? Better to just let it go, delete chapter 4 before it ever came out.
Yeah.
And then it's like, it doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to read to myself.
Yeah, definitely not.
Because I can make a mention of, hey, this is something that happened in the manga. You know,
Yeah,
I can
you
make,
could.
hey, at chapter 4, I can always kind of bring up, like, in the manga, this happened.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this battle
Yeah,
with
we
this
could.
character happened in the manga, so we're going to make it. Or in the anime, it happened. And the thing is, with the anime for Beyblade and Metal Fight, and even the original Bakuten, honestly, I haven't actually read the original Bakuten, but with Metal, it's in Burst. They were using like the pre-hybrid wheel and Gen 1 single layers. But when the anime started for both, they were using their normal 5-piece blades, and they were using in the Burst series they were using dual layers. So the single layer stuff, yeah, some of it was translated into the dual layer, but it wasn't the same. But also, nobody was really reading the manga at the time because it wasn't really out. Like, the only place you could really get it was in France at the time.
Wow.
And I'm pretty sure that's what they. I'm pretty sure they had an English release, but you can't even find it in America
Wow.
because it was probably like, oh, you know, like you can get it in France if you read English in France, but most of it's probably going to be like, you know, you can't really read it too well, or if you know French, you can read it. But I'd love to have
Yeah.
the manga get translated fully. And somebody had started it on Instagram, and they were uploading. I was able to read a few, but then they kind of haven't updated for a while, so it's been like... I kind of get mad about that. It's like, can you guys just... I know you guys are probably busy, but can't you just, you know, translate and let me read the manga?
Yeah.
It's like, I want to read the manga. I want to know what happens so I can
Yeah, we
tell
could-
differences. Because it's like, if you could tell differences in a manga after it's been read and translated, you can easily go, oh, well, this is different compared to what happened in the anime.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish there was more people translating it. I like how
Yeah, that'd be
how we're
nice.
about to hit the 10th puzzle, and we're just talking about random crap. Honestly,
Yeah.
that's probably what we need to... That's probably how it is. But it's like... I like manga. I have a whole freaking I have a whole freaking bookshelf with manga in it.
Nice.
Some doubt incomplete as well, like Ottoman. Well,
Yeah.
the main character's father left the family because he said in an early chapter, I think in volume 1, when the wife asked, "What is with this? Why are you leaving us?" And he said, "The truth is, I've always wanted to be a woman." And the mom freaking, you know, snaps in a way, and doesn't want her son to be that, to possibly become like that. So
Wow.
anything that is not manly or anything that is not supposed to be for men, must not be done. Like, and he likes to sew and crochet. And the main girl in the manga likes to, be fighting or, is very tough and all that.
Yeah.
So in a way, they kind of work together to, and he's not weak or anything, he could do what he needed to, but his mom's also
Yeah.
not there, and it's like, he ain't gay, although he could be,
Yeah.
but
Could be.
it's whatever. But I haven't finished the manga, and while I could easily read it online, I like having the physical one.
Yeah.
It just
feels
feels good.
nice.
It just feels good to have a physical copy.
You know it.
Oh, there's a manga called Robot Boyfriend or something. Well, the main character accidentally orders a robot boyfriend online, not realizing it's actually real and all that. It's something weird, but the boyfriend does actually, in a way gain human, feelings. And apparently they have a chapter where they make love, actually. I actually think more than once they've made love in the thing, and then
Wow.
what happens is there's another character that likes the main female, and while it kind of creates conflict between the robot and the guy,
Wow.
because, it's like, he's a robot, I am a human, I can actually love you, for real, it's one of those things. But near the end of the series, the robot, finally is, hitting a point where he can't live anymore or something.
Oh boy.
And the people who work for the company, which their board of directors is actually literal babies. Like legit babies.
Wow.
So one of the things is like they eventually have to take him away because, of his lifespan, but one of the things he left was his ring that was meant for her, to remember him
Yeah.
by. But he also sent a letter to the other guy because he, left, I think, Japan or something.
Wow.
I'd have to reread it because it's been a while, but at the very end, the guy and the girl do get together because basically the robot boyfriend knew, he can't live forever. He can't do everything. So, they both get the rings, and it's presumed that they did get married.
That sounds pretty cool.
It was an interesting read, for sure.
Yeah.
Also, it was my library in high school in a small town that actually had the Baby and Me manga in stock. It wasn't the
wow.
full complete set when I first read it, because I don't think at the time it was fully out. Maybe. I'm trying to remember if it was fully out at the time or not. I remember me and Anthony actually went to the library and we, and we were talking to the librarian, and we got the rest ordered and we, finished reading it actually.
Wow.
So that was something. And it was a good
Yeah.
read. Except like some of the final chapters were, wow, like, I don't know if development is just gone out the window at times, because sometimes the main character who is supposed to be the older brother, is pretty bad about acting like the older brother. Because sometimes he just... It's one of those things where he just, like, doesn't fully act. Because in the last volume, the baby brother gets hit by a car, following the older brother like he's supposed to. And, survives for sure, but it's just one of those things where it's like, oh shit. And funny enough, I would be in my sociology class with the manga, reading it, and I barely even studied for those tests. I was passing with A's. I was passing each test perfectly, basically. I knew what the test had because I was just kind of paying attention in the class. Which is more than what could be said for some of the students, because on parent-teacher night, my teacher said to my dad, "Oh, let me tell you about your son." And my dad's like, "Oh boy." And the teacher was like, "He is one of my brightest students." Like, set up for the war, and then hear that, hey, he's actually one of my best students. And that was kind of the thing, is like, I was kind of like, I'm actually doing that good? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously studied for tests when I needed to. Because I knew, hey, sometimes, these tests might get bad, so I need to be ready for it. But I was just passing the tests. They were not that hard.
That's good.
So, at least I passed the class. And the thing was, it was more of a sophomore senior class, and I was a sophomore in it.
Yeah.
And then you take it to the account that I'm passing this thing better than most of the students who were supposed to be in that class anyway, because of grade level.
That's funny.
So, I mean, that's my one claim to fame, is I was smarter than sophomores or seniors in a class.
Yeah.
But then you take into
Apparently,
account
yeah.
that I probably also just could study people better, which is why I could sometimes call out people for stuff, because I could just tell, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right about how they're acting.
Yeah.
And even you can have been able to be like, this person doesn't seem very good. And I'm like, oh, no. There is stuff about them that I can sense is off right from the get-go.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
It's
sure that's
interesting.
because we're pretty good at noticing people. But it was sociology, so it's the study of people. I felt I could have become a sociologist if I wanted, but
Yeah.
I don't want to work in that field. That's too much work.
Yeah, it does sound pretty stressful.
It does, especially, I mean, it's not psychology, but imagine if I took psychology as a class and was passing that. I could have become a psychologist and just been like the study of people, but people's minds. But it's like, I don't want, with how my mind is set up.
Yeah.
Oh, I would not want to delve into people's brains.
I know what you mean.
Especially since at work, there's a few of my coworkers who, in a way, her mom is just kind of horrible as a person.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not abusive, physically, but the verbal and emotional abuse,
Yeah.
it's like,
Okay. So,
yeah, it's like, holy crap, you just hear from her and your heart, hurts for her. She hasn't really had much problems lately because, she knows, that I'll listen when needed. And we kind of, and there's been times where on Saturdays where I'm closing and I just kind of, go, I'm probably going to be on register, depending on, who the closing manager is. And
Yeah.
I don't really care too much because it's kind of like, yeah, let her have the floor time. And it helps kind of everybody out. I do really hope, though, that she does get to go to get, you know, into
Yeah.
another house with somebody and can escape the toxic family part.
Yeah, Terry Talk's family is good.
Yeah, I've seen the reports of toxic families.
Yep.
Luckily, your family, from what I can just tell, is not that bad. Your family sounds like a pretty good family.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, I hear more about your mom than your dad, but
Yeah.
that's mainly because I'm like, I don't want to dive into stuff if it's not anything that's really going to, you know, be good. Because it's not.
Well, yeah, I will admit that I do get along better with my mother, though at very least because she took custody after a divorce.
You see, I felt there was like something divorce related.
Yeah. Yeah, I do see my dad fairly often, though.
Yeah, it's like you said, his only day off is really on Saturday.
Yep.
So I guess that's one of the days that you kind of get to converse with him in any form.
Pretty much, yeah.
But yeah, it's from what I hear with you, your mom is a very good person.
She sure is.
It's why if I was ever able to come to Northern Ireland, I'd like to meet your mother in person, just because, you know, it's one of those things. It's like, I'd like to meet my friends' families because then I get to know them a little bit more.
Yeah. I'm sure she wouldn't mind meeting you as well.
Yeah. I'd have to at least bring
Yeah.
her something Sunflora related.
Yeah.
I actually could probably make like a polar bead pattern of a Sunflora and bring it if I ever came, but that would require me winning the lottery or just becoming really famous on YouTube.
Yeah.
To the point
Pretty
where
much.
it's like if I became, you know, famous and had the subscribers to where I get paid, then one of my things would be like going on a trip to different family members, because I have family in England that I've talked to that is my mom's cousin, and her kids are my second cousin's once removed because she's my second cousin in that case.
Huh?
But her kids are into Pokemon to
Nice.
a degree, so it's like there'd be something, you know, I could easily talk to them about.
Yeah.
And then I just go, okay, who's ready to hear about competitive battling and how crazy it can get? Who's ready for me to go on a lesson? Because then she'd probably be like, what are you doing, Brad? And I'm like, I am teaching competitive battling. And they'll both be on the floor kind of like dazed and confused. And I'm like, but I may have gone too in depth. Because I can imagine me going in depth at some point about every Pokemon and how certain things work for certain ones.
Yeah.
And I have to breed it this way to get this IV to have perfect IVs or close to. And not. Oh God. You and me know exactly what we're talking about though.
Yeah.
Because is this a 20 by 15 again? Sanake? Why is there a 20
Oh.
by 15 in Scout's Memories?
Oh, bugger me.
I am so glad I am just using the freaking guide, because this is a no. Just no.
Yeah.
You know, I've had an idea for a video that I've been meaning to script at some point. It would be my favorite Pokemon, you know, my thoughts on each Pokemon by generation.
Ah, that'd be cool.
Because I'm pretty sure when I get to Swinub, my opinion would be Piggy.
Yeah.
And then I just go, and besides, just shows a view of myself. I've got a giant one.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I, and I feel like I'd have you as a person at some points giving your own opinions on them as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would, but we'd have to script that whole thing out so that we make
Yeah.
sure we're on script.
Yeah.
And it would have to be like one person recording their lines and the other person recording their lines and then singing and then putting it together in the end.
Yeah.
Which isn't the hardest part ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've done that before. I've also done the point where I've had to edit lines and take out audio from other videos or mute it because it was like, whoa, 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 we cannot have that be on the YouTubes, people.
Yeah.
Usually
Definitely.
it was back during Cards Against Humanity. Somebody would say something like, hey, that, hush. They don't know that part. And they don't need to know
Yeah.
that part. Oh, good.
Definitely
Well,
don't.
we're going to the last final
Here we go.
puzzle.
Let's finish this.
Yes, so we can finally, so I can, one, say I've, wait a minute. Why is this says it's supposed to be a floppy disk. But it
Huh.
is not a floppy disk. What the?
Weird.
Because it's in the lab. And it shows most of the same stuff. Okay, 2, 5. 1 minute. Yeah, this is supposed to be a different thing entirely. What?
Oh.
Yeah, it's like close to the same, but it's not the same.
That's weird.
Okay. Scats, memory, case 4. Oh god, somebody did a 7-hour thing of just case 4 in itself. I'm muting it for most of it. Let's
Hmm.
see. Theater mode on the TV. They're not even at where I am. I'm just skipping through a lot of video to get to near the end. Or okay, I found where they're at in it. I'll just go skip until it's near the end because that last. I ain't messing with this for like a whole lot of the video. It's almost done. I could tell they're almost through with the thing. And that's the thing, I don't want to miss it.
Nope.
Because if I miss any of the things, it's gonna throw me off. Damn it. Okay. No, I was right on that. I was right on this. It's these last 3, these 2, these 2, these 4, followed by these 5, and these 2,
Yeah.
and that.
Good.
Hey, for once the 5 was actually in the middle. When it was just the only one there. I still
Yeah.
hate how some of these cases had like ones. You know, just like, oh, it's one of these 15 squares. And it's like,
One of these.
one of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. It's Joey because he sucks at dueling. Hey, Yug. Sorry, the song was just so catchy.
I had to do it.
I had to do it to them. I had to do it to him. Joey was kind of a bad duelist for a lot of the series, but he really proved himself late in the series. Like,
Yeah.
if he did not faint to the Winged Dragon of Ra's attack afterwards, he would have defeated Merrick and have had a God card.
Yeah, I do like how hilarious that would look.
He could have easily
That's
given
it.
that God card to Yugi as well, and then he'd be like,
Yeah.
here's your God card, Yug.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't for the you have to read ancient Egyptian made my project good as well.
Yeah, but I mean, technically, with the times Merrick said it, Joey could have easily just remembered what was said.
Yeah.
And he didn't even, and he wouldn't even have had to use Ra ever in a duel. He could have just given it to Yugi after he won it from Merrick, and then,
yeah, afterwards.
and then when Yugi fights, you know, Obelisk, Yugi would have all three, and Yugi and Joey could have just a fun duel after Joey's recovered. Or Joey could be
Yeah.
unconscious, and Yugi would have been declared the winner because Joey's unconscious. Yugi has all three, but it makes sense why.
Yeah.
But I do think after Battle City, because Joey has Red Eyes Black Dragon again, after that, during Waking the Dragons, and the fact
Mhm.
Yugi never used it in the Egyptian arc, I'm going to think Yugi and Joey battled. Joey beat Yugi somehow in the very end, and got his Red Eyes Black Dragon back, or they battled, it was very close, and Yugi gave Red Eyes back to Joey because it was Joey's card, and Joey did a very good duel. Who knows?
Yeah, it could have been that.
If they ever
Of course.
remake Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters like there's been speculation about, which I don't think they would, but if they did, they could follow Season 0, like the actual manga, they could follow it actually through for once,
That'd be cool.
and they could actually have like an actual battle with Joey and Yugi where, you know, Joey actually wins and gets Red Eyes back, you know, and actually make it where it's not a cop-out, make an actually epic duel. You know, they could actually add some things in, but they probably won't.
Yeah, it would be
Because
cool.
then they'd have
additions
to, because then if they were going to print cards, they'd have to print the old Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and we all know that they don't want to do that because they've already done it a million times, and it's out of, you know,
Yeah,
the meta game
no.
is so bad.
Yeah, Power Creep hit them hard.
Yeah, Magic the Gathering at least does sets, and so does Pokemon. Although with Pokemon, the V's and EXs and all that are kind of what people want, but if you build a deck without any of them, the decks, if two people have decks without any V's or any of that, the decks are pretty even in power level. It's just once you get your EXs and V's and all that, they kind of start showing their creep.
Yeah.
Final memory.
Yep. Here we go. Irony.
Oh, and look at the pose.
Oh yeah, they match.
So that's where Scout learned it from.
Yeah. Uncanny resemblance.
Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
And then they do that stuff, and that came from Case 1's memories, and it worked, and all that lunch. So it is interesting. So technically, while I did not buy this game. Oh no, I think I got it off of free. I got free from the Epic Game Store.
Ah,
Technically, I've completed the whole game. Everything is 100% complete. And I can't say anything otherwise. If I did not complete something, they can point it out, but I'm pretty sure we completed everything.
yep, I think we have.
Also, this one was only 40 minutes since we went through the whole walkthrough, except for that last thing.
Yeah.
And with that, thank you guys so much for watching.
Mm-hmm.
The next set of videos will be Brilliant Diamond, but they will be longer videos. They will be like what would happen if I was in a stream, but I'm not doing streams. So it's just kind of me, Sanake, Anthony even in episode 1. Episode
Yep.
2 at the time of this recording has not been done yet because we aren't on that Saturday yet, but we'll be there. But in episode 2, we're hoping to have some more people. You'll see by episode 2 if we've got more people. But at least it'll be Sanake and I. Possibly Anthony. Maybe some others. And we'll just keep going until we can complete the game. I have the entire EV spreadsheet for Cynthia's Pokemon. And everybody else's Pokemon. So, you know, we have an idea of what we'll be facing against.
Yeah.
Oh God, Brilliant Diamond. I cannot tell you the amount of times I went through and my Luxray just survived hit after hit after hit because of affection, which is the only reason we won in the very end. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. This is Brad.
Yep. I'm Sanaki.
And our detective cases are over for now. So thanks for watching.
Yep.